Yo, what the fuck is up? It's your host, Diego Llamas, your host, Chris Jones. It's Yellow Card episode 79. Presented to you by Couch Guy Sports Network. Make sure you check out couchguysports.com. All the content, all the podcasts, everything you need to know, Twitch, Discord. I mean, shit. Whatever platform you think of, we're more likely on it. Make sure to check out our sponsors. Tonight, sponsoring this episode is Shocked Energy, shockedenergy.com. Head over there. And at the checkout, use the code CGSN. Get 10% off on your boys. And treat yourself to some amazing energy drinks, as well as some really cool merchandise that they got on their website. Make sure that you also check out Exo Gun. If you are, looking to take vacations, April vacations are coming. Spring break is coming and all that. If you're looking to take vacations at the leisure of your own home, looking to just get a massage at the comfort of your own sofa, get to exogun.com and use the code CGS10 for 10% off your order as well, and get taken care of, all that. So, episode 79 here, your boy Diego, Chris Jones, as we mentioned earlier. We got lots to talk about here. We got a lot of soccer content going on. Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, Europa League, you name it. Basically, everyone is out for their lives on their own in every single league out there. Potentially coming up in the next few episodes, we'll be talking about some new content, so be on the lookout for that. But if you haven't checked out the YouTube channel for Couch Guy Sports, make sure that you do subscribe, hit the alert button so that you know that our episode is up and ready to go. Jones, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good. But I do have to say one thing about one of our sponsors as well.
Talk to me, brother.
So Shocked Energy.
Yeah.
They do, in fact, get a new little drink coming out.
Yeah, they do.
Shocked Hydrate. Mm-hmm. Be on the lookout for that because that looks fantastic.
Yes, sir. So, again, make sure you use the code CGSN, get 10% off. Listen, we're all looking to save up some money for our big summer spending. Your boy will be drinking tequila somewhere on the beach. That 10% off comes in handy. Who knows? I might just buy the gallon of tequila instead of a bottle. But anyways, enough of my stupidity. Let's get down to business, like the song says. We got Premier League, like I said, Champions League, Europa League. We got FA Cup. But first and foremost, your boys were back on the Twitch channel earlier on the week, actually on the weekend. Thank you all so much for tuning in. About 40 to 45 of y'all tuned in. So we really appreciate that. And I think it looks like we got some additional viewership from some of you that were unable to join us while we were live. So we thank you guys very much for all that and your support. We'll be back on very soon. We'll be announcing it again on our Twitter page. Make sure that you check out at Podcast Card. Make sure to follow us, subscribe, retweet, whatever you need to do to show us some support. Make sure that you do. First and foremost, Jones, why don't you start us off with the topic of your choice, and let's get episode 79 rolling now.
Spinning the wheel on my computer. Hold on. Okay, it's Champions League.
Champions League, we love it.
All right. So, first matchup we're going to talk about, probably the surprise of the Champions League so far, is Bayern Munich now hosting Villarreal. Villarreal up 1-0 in the aggregate. What do you have for this matchup?
Sure. So, I got Bayern coming in, firing off on all cylinders, taking no mercy whatsoever. I got Bayern going 3-1.
I got Villarreal playing tough again. The matchup to me, I know this time around at Bayern is going to be a completely different atmosphere for Villarreal, but I think this team's talented enough where they can put up an absolute dogfight and make Bayern work for it. I think Bayern wins this 2-0, and I think they move on, but I think that Bayern might be a little bit banged up moving on to the semifinals.
Listen, just a special shout out to Villarreal. Honestly, massive underdogs throughout the whole entire Champions League, and getting to this point without having some massive names on their roster. I mean, kudos to you guys. Congratulations, Villarreal. Any fans out there of Villarreal, you should be giving yourself a round of applause. Great team. unlike my Manchester United, which I'll vent about later on. Go ahead, Jones. Carry on. Sorry, I got a lot of energy today. Maybe hydrated a little too much. But shocked.
Let's move on to the other one on Tuesday. Real Madrid and Chelsea. Real Madrid up 3-1 in the aggregate. Madrid just controlled the entire way. Oh, by the way, Champions League records. I am 67-49. Diego was 60-56. Went 3-1 last week. Diego went 2-2. But
sure.
Let's just, I'm telling you here, Real Madrid, they're at home. They have the edge on Chelsea. Chelsea does not look like the same team that we've seen them be in the Champions League the last year or so, or excuse me, the last year plus. I think this is a 1-1 draw and Real Madrid moves on. I don't think Real Madrid is playing for much. I just think they're playing not to blow a 2-goal lead at home.
Oh, I agree. Real Madrid exposed some major weaknesses that Chelsea have, and especially at this time right now where they're going through some difficulties. Frankly, I don't expect Chelsea to be able to bounce back that heavily. I do expect them to play a little bit tougher. However, they're relying too much on Romelu Lukaku. It's already reported that Callum Hudson-Odoi and what's his name? Good God, I'm drawing a blank. Either way, there's two major people that will not be at the Champions League game for Real Madrid. So with that said, 2-1 Real Madrid winning this one.
All right, let's move on to the Wednesday slate. Let's do Atletico and City. City squeaked out a 1-0 win at home. Now they're at Atletico. What do we think? Wait, I'm sorry. I completely just tuned out. What was your prediction for Real Madrid and Chelsea? What was the score you gave?
2-1.
Real?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay. Now City and Atletico.
Yeah, so I mean, Manchester City barely did the bare minimum here. It is at Atletico. That's a complete tough area over there. I do expect Atletico to come back. This goes into penalties, and unfortunately, Manchester City moves on. So I'm going with a 1-0 victory for Atletico, but I'm saying City wins.
I'm going 0-0 draw here with City wins. I think Atletico again is going to play them tough, and City's just going to do what they need to do to move on here. I think they're not going to try and get fancy. They're not going to try and do anything over the top. I just think they're going to try and get the job done. And a draw here sounds fantastic for City.
Now,
especially
keep in mind
with the way that
ahead.
they just played against Liverpool.
Now, keep in mind too, to our listeners out there, our record for Champions League is based on solely on who moves on to the next round. So even if our scores say one thing, it is mainly on who moves on to the next round. I agree with you. I will say I think City tried to adapt to a new style of play, trying to adapt the Jurgen Klopp mentality on top of adding the Pep Guardiola mentality. And therefore, these legs are a little bit tired from a lot of what they had to do to squeeze out a tie, which could have very easily gone either way for either team. So That's why I'm saying 1-0 victory for Atletico, but I think City moves on eventually on penalties. Moving on to the next one, the Liverpool and Benfica.
I think Liverpool's just going to dominate at home. No way, Benfica. It's been a great run, but I'll take Liverpool to win the game 2-0 outright.
I take Liverpool to advance, but I think Benfica will come out on all cylinders here. I think they will want to squeeze out a win in Anfield. I'm going with a 2-1 victory from Benfica, but I say Liverpool moves on either way.
I thought I just rolled Liverpool for you with 3 hours. I was supposed to say it was wrong with me. Let's go to the Europa League. You and I rough last week. You went 0-4. I went 1-3. The only thing I got right was the draw between Atalanta and Leipzig.
Yep.
You and I both got Rangers and Sporting Braga wrong. Then the draw in Barcelona and Frankfurt, and then West Ham and Lyon. Yep. So first one, Atalanta and RB Leipzig. Let's talk about that one, shall we?
Sure. Before we do that, just our records on the Europa League. I'm 17-20. Jones is 19-18.
Diego, I got you at 18 and 19.
Oh, that's right. Yep. 18-19. That makes sense. Wait, no, it doesn't. I went 0-4. I was a 17-16, so 17 and
Oh,
20.
yeah, you're right. I messed up there. Sorry.
All good.
So you're 17 and 20. You're correct.
And you're 19-18.
Yeah, that I know.
Okay, perfect.
But I messed up
So-
on you. Sorry. Sorry, I tried helping you. I gave you an extra one.
All good, dude. All good. All right. So moving on, I'd say Atalanta takes care of business here. Leipzig always plays really tough in the first round, but then their legs gave out on the second round. But so much going on in their internal league as well. I don't think Leipzig has it in them. It's a 2-0 victory for Atalanta.
And it begins, ladies and gentlemen. It begins. I think Atalanta wins 2-0 as well. Like specifically for the reasons that Diego said, Leipzig plays very well. The way they are competing in their league, they're going to have tired legs coming in, and Atalanta is just kind of coasting through the Serie A because they're not really in the top four contending. So I'm going to take Atalanta to win 2-0. Next one is Rangers and Sporting Braga. Braga won 1-0 last time.
I got Rangers taking care of business here, coming in all or nothing. 2-0 Rangers.
This fucking guy, man. Every time. I also have Rangers winning 2-0 here. There's no way that they move on. Sorry, Jesus, I can't even talk tonight. There's no way that Braga comes back with that energy at Rangers that they had at home. I think Rangers gets it going. I say them 2-0 as well. All right, Barcelona and Frankfurt.
This is a Barca. This is a Barca, isn't it?
This is at Barca, yeah.
No.
But Frankfurt's going to be without one of their top defenders in Tuta, as he got 2 yellows, which led to a red.
Yeah.
In the last UEL game.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. So there's a lot of disadvantages going on here for Frankfurt. I'm going 3-1 Barcelona.
This fucking guy, man. You just fucking like I don't know what to do, man. I can't give any more analysis on this game because you've taken the words right out of my mouth yet again. It's like what is this dude doing? I'm worried about changing my screen.
Oh god.
All right. Last one, West Ham and Lyon. West Ham will be without Aaron Cresswell as he got a red card in their last meeting as well. Tied 1-1. Who wins? Who moves on there?
I'm going with West Ham here. It is it's a tough matchup for them, but I'm going 1-0. Is it the same score?
I don't know what to do anymore. Every freaking Europa League game, I have the same fucking score as you. Why? How is that physically possible?
I don't know. You and I were like off air. We were both doing our scores. Our heads were down. There was no way I could have looked at my screen to even see if you were writing something. And the way that your camera is pointed, there's no way for me to see what you're writing.
Oh my god. I need to.
Oh, this is hilarious.
I might need to take a walk after. I don't know.
This is
all right.
excellent.
Let's move on to the Premier League side of things. Another rough going for you boys. Currently, Diego's at the top at 23 and 29. I'm sitting at 22 and 30. Not ideal. Not ideal for sure.
Wait, what do you have?
So we don't have that. What?
What do you have for record?
I have you at 23 and 29 and me at 22 and 30.
I got me at 23 and 28.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I had you at 19 and 22. I was 18 and 23. We both finished the same record.
We both went 4 and 6. So 19 plus 4 is 23.
No, 4 and 7.
Oh, 4 and 7. Okay, that's why. Yep. Yeah, 23 and 29. Yep. That makes
All
sense.
right. So let's start off. Not many games this weekend. We get the FA Cup. We'll get into those 2 games afterwards. Stick with the Premier League here. First one is Tottenham and Brighton.
Yeah, so I'm going 2-0 Tottenham. They're firing off on all cylinders. Honestly, they're doing the right thing. Brighton seems to have fallen off, so I'm going 2-0.
Brighton also just beat Arsenal this past weekend at Arsenal. So
Yeah, but Arsenal has fallen off.
I think Tottenham wins. I think they win 3-0. No, I think they're gonna really stick it to the man.
Oof.
All right. United hosting Norwich City. I'm gonna go first. We're gonna let Diego talk about Manchester United a little bit later on in depth. I'm gonna give him a 5 to 10 minute outro to the show by himself talking about Manchester United. But
Don't do that. Don't do that.
well, I'm gonna time you and make sure that I cut you off. But I think United squeaks this one out 2-1.
Okay. I'm going with a 3-0 victory here for United. There will be some people that will be back on the squad, which will be needed, so that will help out. But Norwich, unfortunately, they kind of have died off really badly, and it's nothing that Dean Smith is doing. It's just the club itself is not built right now to be able to sustain a Premier League run. So
Southampton and Arsenal. For me, this is a classic Southampton game at home at St. Mary's Stadium. I'm going 1-1 draw here.
I'm going 1-0 victory for Arsenal. I think the past couple of games that they have played where they've lost, it's a wake-up call for Arteta to finish up in the top 4, at least top 5. So they take care of business 1-0.
All right. Next one is Watford and Brentford.
2-1 Brentford.
I may also have 2-1 for Brentford. Brentford's won 4 of the last 5. They're cooking on all cylinders. Watford's won 1 out of their last 5. And kind of looking like a shell of themselves. Like they, unfortunately. So we'll go Brentford 2-0. Next one, Newcastle hosting Leicester.
I got Newcastle taking care of business here, 2-1.
Oh, I fucking scared the shit out of me. I got Newcastle winning 2-0. All right, West Ham and Burnley is the last one on the EPL slate.
I got West Ham going 2-1 against Burnley.
You sit when you pee. You sit when you pee. One on the record, you sit when you pee. I have West Ham winning 2-1. Burnley's going to score 1 early. West Ham's just going to get the 2 to solidify the victory there. All right, let's talk FA Cup. Stand on my poo. All right, FA Cup. First one, obviously on Saturday. It's City and Liverpool at Wembley. These 2 teams have just played a 2-2 draw on Sunday, and then earlier in the season they also played a 2-2 draw. This time somebody has to win to go to the FA Cup final. What do we think happens?
Well, with action in the middle of the week in Champions League, I think Liverpool is more physically fit than City. I think Liverpool takes the cake here, goes 2-1.
I didn't even put a score down for this. I just put down who I thought was going to win. But I think Liverpool's going to win, but I think just because of how both teams have played each other this year, I think Liverpool wins via penalties.
Ooh, I like it.
All right, Chelsea and Crystal Palace.
I have to pick a winner. That's right. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm picking a winner right now. Give me Patrick Vieira and Crystal Palace. This is their championship this year. Give me Crystal Palace to beat Chelsea.
I like it. I mean, I have a 2-2 draw because I do think Palace has Chelsea's number. I think Chelsea manages to take care of business, though.
Okay. All right, so that's all that stuff. So real quick, we're gonna touch upon the Serie A with the competitive league. Besides the Premier League, it's the most competitive league this year.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, we have up top with 68 points is AC Milan. Second, we have Inter Milan with 66. Third, we have Napoli with 66 as well. Goal differential for Inter Milan has them up higher. Fourth, Juventus at 62, Roma at 557, Lazio 655, Fiorentina 753, Atalanta 851, Sassuolo 946, and then 10th, Hellas Verona at 45. So real quick, do you think the top four stays the same in no particular order? Do you think Roma or Lazio has a chance to overcome that little deficit and finish in the top four this year?
Yeah, I mean, there's two things. There's two things here. Number one, Inter is a game behind, so I do think they have an opportunity here to be able to finish first, which they could. Very good team.
So
they got a lot of things going.
Let me put this into perspective for you. Say the 11th. So Thursday at 1:00 Eastern time, they play on the road at Spezia. And if they win that game, they'll go. If they win that game, they'll be in first until AC Milan plays Genoa at home.
Yep. Second to that, there are 6 matches left. Napoli has a tendency of having either one really good, strong year to finish off, or one year where they just fall off completely. I think this is their opportunity to finish up strong. I think what happens here is AC Milan actually falls off and lands third place, with Inter and Napoli and then second, and Juventus staying right where they are, or potentially falling off to 5th place. But I do think Juventus will stay right where they are. Even if they fall to 5th place, they will be going to the Europa League, which frankly, it's a good opportunity for Juventus. It kind of takes them off of the big stage. It allows Massimiliano Allegri to continue to rebuild his stream as he needs to. While Roma, it's an important factor for them to finish strong, because Jose Mourinho has done an excellent job with this team. He took them at a time where they were 14th on the table. Now they're at 5th. Their players are playing at a top form, and frankly, I mean, this is probably one of the strongest teams that we've seen Roma have in a few years. Tammy Abraham is at the top of his game. Henrik Mkhitaryan doing great things. I mean, Mickey was phenomenal when he played for Mourinho, and he's still doing that same exact thing. El Shaarawy, top form as well. Smalling, Spinazzola, all playing in really top level. So frankly, I kind of want Roma to end 4th place. They deserve an opportunity to go to the Champions League again. And it's an opportunity for Mourinho to bring his name again back up to where it belongs. I mean, he's had 2 horrible spells with Manchester United and Tottenham. And we all know that he's a top quality coach, not treated correctly at either of these organizations. So therefore, it's kind of time for him to get back onto his high horse.
I think for me, the big story is in this league, it's not who wins this year. It's what's going to happen to some of these teams in the offseason. So Juventus is the key example, because Paulo Dybala is definitely gone.
Yeah.
They lost any chance to get him worth value. So you have to replace him. Matthias De Ligt is probably gone. I believe Weston McKennie is off the team, or is working his way off the team.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be guys that they're going to need to fill holes for. And realistically speaking, if they finish in the top 4 and they don't make the moves that they need to make in the summer transfer window, it's going to be a long run for them in the Champions League, because of the fact that they'll probably get tough matched up with one of the harder groups. So for me, Juventus really needs to put some pedal to the metal here, and they need to get Allegri some more firepower for the upcoming year.
And there's 2 things too that a few things that you're forgetting too. Alvaro Morata's contract is up. You need to either renew or let him go. More than likely, it's better for you to let him go. It's kind of dead weight at this point. Juan Cuadrado's contract is up in the middle of the season, so you might as well renew it now and continue to maintain him there. He's a tremendous asset to your team. Moise Kean is on a loan. Might as well send him back to Everton. On top of that, you need to start figuring out a backup for Giorgio Chiellini. He's 37 years old. It's going to be entering a very tough age at 38, where he will not be able to defend at the top level that he's in. So you need a backup there. And frankly, I mean, Szczesny's contract might also be up too. And you need to figure out another keeper for Juventus, the keeper of the future, because Szczesny is now entering at 31 years old, will be playing more than likely his last World Cup. So, you kind of need to work up some ends there. So there's huge opportunity for Allegri to build his team to his standards. But it's important for them to build it to have the faith in Allegri to do that, but also build it in a patient way where you shouldn't be aiming. For me personally, as a Juventus admirer, because I don't have a set team that I'm a fan of in the Italian league, I would say for Juventus, the best thing they could do is qualify for Europa League, play small, and continue to create a big team and be ready for Champions League the year later. That's the best thing they could do.
I just think Juventus is going to spend in the summer transfer window.
They should. They should.
I think, realistically speaking, Juventus will end up with guys like Paul Pogba, Joe Gomez, guys in the Premier League that aren't getting along with their current team and aren't getting into the lineup that they need to be in. And I think that's going to be the prime target for Massimiliano Allegri.
But I'm 100% on board with you on that. But I think, again, it goes back to that concept of building a strong team, but taking your time to do so. Because if there is one thing that I'll say from my perspective, at least from being a fan of Manchester United, is that we've gone for big names, and look where that has gotten us. That has gotten us nowhere. And it's going to happen again in any other league that you go to.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think realistically for Roma, the big thing is if you win Derby del Sol against Napoli, that's going to start your push for trying to finish in the top four. If you lose that matchup, I think that the top four is just basically a pipe dream.
Yeah, no, for sure. Absolutely. Again, I think either finish, it's a good finish for Juventus, considering the amount of turmoil they have gone through and the ups and downs they have gone through. But for me, frankly, I'd much rather would be a lot happier if they qualify for Europa League, win that league, instead of aiming so high for Juventus to qualify to the Champions League to then be kicked out at the round of 16.
Right, I agree with that. All right, one final thing before we get into the final topic, which is your little rant on Manchester United. Do you want to do what we talked about off air now? You want to start it this week?
Why not? You already teased it, so why not?
So off air, we decided that, we've kind of really gone heavy into the Premier League and the European football landscape. Let's get back to the MLS a little bit. So what we're going to do each week, starting now, is we're going to give what we're going to call the MLS Best Selection. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to look at the slate of games and we're going to give you what our best selection for that is. And whoever has the better record at the end of the MLS season wins. So let's start. I will go first. My best selection for the MLS this week is going to be none other than, I'm going to say, we will see. Ooh, I got it between two, actually. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me think of my brain for a second. Give me one moment here. Okay, yes, this is the one I am going to go with. Sorry about that. My best selection here is I'm going to take Nashville to win on the road at San Jose.
Ooh.
Okay, Diego, why don't you give me yours?
Okay. I'm processing. Give me a second here.
One thing I do want to say is big shout out to Charlotte FC, who have started off very, very well in the MLS so far. I believe they're 3-4, but they're sitting in 5th in the East.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good.
All right. So my best matchup of the week,
Best selection.
Yep. It's DC United versus Austin. I'm going to take Austin here against DC United. Austin has been off to a great start so far this year. They're 3-2-1, standing. I believe they're standing in fourth place in the Western Conference. Yep, fourth place at 11 points, right behind Real Salt Lake, LA Galaxy, and LA Football Club. Not trailing behind by a lot, so they're doing a phenomenal job. Meanwhile, DC United kind of hanging on there. 10th place, really not off to a great start, but I mean, we shouldn't really be saying much considering New England. It's really off to one of their worst starts so far, 1-1-4. But in Bruce we trust, and we'll get things rolling again. But that's my best matchup of the week. I'm taking Austin on this one.
All right. Final topic for tonight. Last but not least, Diego.
I don't even think I have 5 minutes in me to talk about Manchester United. I probably have about a minute to a minute and a half. But I mean, Frank.
Let's call this. You ready for this? You know what I'm gonna do, Diego? This is what we're gonna do now. Every week, this is what we're gonna do. Now, see, content. The end of beginning content into my brain. At the end of every episode, I'm going to give you Diego's minute. And in Diego's final minute,
Diego's minute. That is the stupidest segment I've heard.
No, it's not. Listen to me. And in that minute, Diego is going to praise, complain, do whatever he wants. It's Diego's final minute. So, Diego, God. I want you to take everything you have, bring it up. I'm going to start the timer on the minute. You ready?
Go.
All
right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about Manchester United, a team that in the past 7 games has managed to go 1-3 and 3 on their last 7 games, and this is including Champions League. This is a team that wanted to go off into more of a tactic mode and trust somebody with those capabilities. We have not done so. This is a team that has absolutely failed to do so. We got a bunch of attitudes in this team, and honestly, there's about 8 to 9 players that have got to go. You lost against Everton, for fuck's sakes. Everton, a team that is in, I don't even know, 17th place. I mean, honestly, I got nothing else to say for Manchester United, but it's over.
Diego's final minute, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be, that's how we're ending every episode now. We're going to do Diego's final minute from now on.
Fucking 7th place, 14-9-8. This is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But the shame should be all on the players. It's not the managers anymore.
I love the fact that I just came up with 3 segments on the fly tonight for this show. Content.
It was about time you did something. 79 episodes later. Holy Christ.
Here we go. Yep. Mm-hmm. I've been keeping track of the Champions League record for over 2 years, the majority of these episodes. And now I'm just coming up with the content now.
Well, I mean, the Champions League content, that's excellent and all, but I mean, that's
kind of right. With that being said, I'm not going to get into this debate with you.
That's like frying an egg and saying I put the oil on the pan. I mean, that's a given.
Make sure you're following us on Twitter at Podcast Card. Follow Diego at Diego_the DJ. Myself at CJones21212. If you're not already, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Come on, what are you doing? Just subscribe. It's not that hard. Also, like the video, leave us a comment. Let us know other things you want us to include, maybe do in this episode. But with that being said, from Diego, the DJ, I am Chris Jones signing off. We'll see you next week for episode 80, the Yellow Card Podcast.